Hi guys, I have a reformer class for you today using a magic circle. So go ahead, grab a magic circle. As always, I will have the props linked in the description below. We're gonna start with footwork today. So my foot bar is up at the starting position, and then up to you guys for springs. I have 4 springs on, so I have 3 heavies and 1 light, which is 3 reds and a yellow on my reformer. You can go lighter than that, you can go heavier than that. It is up to you. Before we get started, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave me those super thanks. And then as always, you guys will get that free content every Monday, Wednesday. Fridays will be for members only. So if you guys want to get those 4 extra videos a month, it's $4.99 a month for those members only videos. Thank you so much for all the support. I really appreciate you guys. So we're gonna lie down with our circles. Again, I'm going like a medium spring today for my footwork, 3 reds and a yellow. We're gonna start with the magic circle through our legs. It's gonna be right around our thighs. And then I'm gonna set my heels wider than I usually have them on my reformer. So they're gonna be, if I pull the circle apart, they're gonna be about that magic circle distance away, knees, feet parallel with each other. And as always, we are in our neutral spines. We're gonna go ahead on an inhale. We're gonna push our carriages out, keeping this nice little pull the circle apart. And then we're gonna exhale to come back in. Inhale as we push, and then exhale to pull. Now, just being mindful, when we're here, when we're pulling the circle apart with our knees, I don't want a super big pull so you don't roll out to the sides of your feet. Think if your feet, you guys, are flat on a floor, they're gonna stay flat on the floor. So no supination where we roll out. We wanna keep the feet where we usually have them for your footwork while pulling that circle apart so we can get right into our abductors, outsides the legs, outsides the glutes. Again, inhale to push. Exhale to pull. We're gonna go for 3, 2, last one. And then once we come back in, we're just gonna pause in. Arches of our feet are gonna go on, same distance away. Again, little pull that circle apart. We're gonna inhale to push out, exhale to pull back in. Push and pull. I'm feeling the outsides of the legs, outsides of the glutes engaging. Again, it's an inhale away. Think engaging your low abs to help pull the carriage all the way back in. We're gonna push out for 3, 2, and then last one. All right, then once we come back in, pause. Toes, balls of our feet are gonna go onto the foot bar. Again, little pull that circle apart. Inhale to push, evenly weighted throughout all 10 toes. Exhale, engage the core to come back in. Push out, pull in. As always, you guys, my bra line or my ribs are staying heavy. My sacrum stays heavy. I'm maintaining that neutral spine the entire time. And I'm feeling a little extra work in those abductors today with that magic circle. Inhale, push. Exhale, pull. We're gonna go 3. Last one. All right, then once we come back in, pause. Circle's gonna come out. This time, heels go back onto the foot bar. The circle is gonna go in between our knees, and then our feet are almost all the way out to the sides, but if you guys need to bring them a little closer to keep that circle there, you can bring your feet in a little closer. So a wide second position, neutral spine. Again, we can inhale to push out. We should feel those adductors this time. Exhale to pull back in. Inhale away, exhale back. Adjust that circle as needed. We're gonna feel those inner thighs working this time. Push, resist in. Inhale out, exhale back. 4, 3, 2, and then last one. All right, then once we come back in, we're gonna pause in, take the circle into our hands, toes, balls of our feet, go back to the center of the foot bar, parallel with each other, just about a fist distance away, so sits bones distance out. I'm gonna take the magic circle right over my chest, elbows open out nice and wide to the sides of the room, push the carriage out one time, hold, and then we're gonna go into our run. So we're bending one knee, lowering the opposite heel. Now as we run, we're gonna do little squeezes of the circle to get right into our pecs, our biceps, and our lats. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's lower both heels, relax the arms. We'll lift the heels up, bend our knees, and we'll bring the carriage all the way back in. Okay, when we come back in, we can just set the circle off to the side. We're gonna sit off to the sides of our reformers, and then when you guys sit off to the sides, we're gonna go to 1 blue spring or 1 medium spring on your reformer. Okay, when we get onto that blue, foot bar is gonna stay. We're gonna stand up onto our reformers. Hands are gonna go onto the foot bar. And then I'm gonna step back right around center, maybe a little further back than center just because I have long legs. Hands are gonna go wide onto the foot bar. Thumbs are with their fingers. Feet are gonna be about shoulder block distance away from each other. And then I'm gonna just lean my weight back just a little more. So I have more weight in my heels, less weight in my palms, but we're never pulling on the foot bar. We're always giving it a little push. Eyes are gonna look down to our toes. We're gonna do a little elephant here. So we're gonna inhale, push the carriage out. When we push away, the weight needs to stay in the heels so we don't lift up onto the toes. The weight stays in the heels. The arms stay in the same spot. We use our abs to pull the legs back underneath us. So it's gonna be an inhale, the legs push out. I'm going out probably 2, maybe 3 feet. And then I'm engaging my core to pull the legs back underneath me. Again, the arms don't move, the spine doesn't move. It's just the legs pushing the carriage out. And then we're engaging our core to pull in. So I think we're scooping into our abs. They're drawing into our back to pull the legs back in, out, and then exhale, pull in. We're just gonna go 3, 2, and then last one. All right, now once we come in, we can bring our carriages all the way back in. I'm gonna shift forward, so this time my shoulders over my hands, feet are gonna stay. We're gonna press the legs out. Heels are gonna lift up this time. We're gonna hold ourselves here, and then we're gonna push the carriage out with our arms, and then exhale to pull back in. Abs into our back, arms push. We exhale to pull back in. Now, if you want a little more distance, you guys can always walk your feet a little further back. That does make it a little more challenging. Abs into our back, legs are long, abs are in, butts are down. Push, and then resist in. Let's go for 2, and then last one. All right, now once we come in, we can lift the hips, set the heels down. Feel free to stretch back. This time, if you guys want to pull on the foot bar, you can. It's just a stretch. And then we're going to shift back forward. So shoulders over my hands, thumbs are with my fingers, legs push the carriage out. We're going to hold here. Abs are in. This time, we're going to inhale, bend our knees to bring the carriage in. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch. Again, scooping into those abs. Bend the knees, stretch the legs. Little tuck of the pelvis when you guys bend your knees. Inhale, bend, exhale, stretch. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, tuck the pelvis, hike the hips, drop the heels, stretch back. One more thing before we go into some ab and some arm work with our magic circle. So we're gonna shift back forward, shoulders over our hands. We're gonna press our legs back out into our planks. We're gonna hold here. The arms are gonna push us out one time. They're gonna stay. We're gonna tuck our pelvis, hike our hips to bring the carriage in with just the legs. Keep your arms back, and then just push your legs out again. My arms stay this time. Tuck the pelvis, hike the hips, and then inhale back out. Exhale, scoop into the abs to lift. Inhale to press. I'm keeping my heels lifted the entire time. Push, tuck, hike. Again, scoop into those abs to pull the carriage in. 3, 2, and 1. All right, drop the heels, stretch back. Feel free to pull on that foot bar. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead, take our hands onto the carriage, and we're gonna kneel down onto our reformer this time. When you guys kneel, we're gonna do some push-ups with your circle. If this is too challenging for balance, you can ditch the circle and just do it with your hands. Otherwise, I'm gonna send my legs through my headrest so my knees are back towards my shoulder blocks here. So when I set up with my hands right on the front edge of my carriage, we're right into that 4-point kneeling position, shoulders over the hands, hips right over the knees. Hands are gonna be about shoulder distance away. I'm gonna grab my circle into my right hand, and then we're gonna put the circle, the squishy part, right onto the foot bar. My right elbow is into my ribs. Shoulders parallel to the floor, hips parallel to the floor. We're gonna exhale, push the carriage out with the right arm. Elbow goes into the ribs as we control it. Exhale out. Again, inhale, resist to come back in. Eyes looking to the floor. Think stabilize from that left side and your core. Exhale to push. Right elbow into your ribs as you come back in. I'm gonna take my right thumb too with my fingers. Exhale, press. Inhale, resist. Now we're gonna do 2 more like this. Really feeling that bicep working. I'm feeling my left arm working to stabilize me. Last one. And in. Okay, when we come in, we're gonna make those a little more challenging. If you guys don't feel comfortable, don't do this next one. We reach the left leg back behind us. Make sure that that left hip doesn't externally rotate, so hips stay parallel to the floor. Ready? Exhale out. And then inhale, resist back in. Again, if you guys don't feel comfortable with your balance, set the knee back down. Exhale, pushing away. Inhale, elbow to the ribs as we come back in. We're gonna go for 4 more. Again, feel that left side working to stabilize us. 3, controlling out, controlling in. 2. Okay, now in our last one, we have to hold out. If you don't have your leg up, just hold out with your right arm. If you do have your leg up, dip the toes down, lift up, dip down, lift up. Again, shoulders, hips parallel to the floor, eyes look to the floor, reach to your toes, lengthen through the crown of your head and try to keep that right arm long. 3, 2, 1, and in. Ooh, okay. Set that circle down. Feel free to come off of your wrists, give them a little roll. And then we have the same thing on the left side. So right hand down, thumb with the finger, left thumb is with your left fingers. Left hand has a circle. Circle goes onto your foot bar. Elbows into those ribs. Exhale, press out with control with that left arm. Control in. Out with control on that exhale. Inhale, elbow into the ribs as we come back in. And then just making sure when we push out, that left shoulder doesn't crawl up into our left ear. So shoulder stays down. Out. Resist in. Ooh, a little harder for me on this side. We have 3 more before we add in that right leg. Abs into our back. 2. And then last one. All right, when we come in, we're gonna make those a little more challenging. Again, if you guys don't feel comfortable, keep your right knee down. We're gonna extend the right leg back. Hips stay parallel to the floor. Exhale, press out with control. Inhale, elbow into the ribs with control. Out. Think engage your core to help stabilize you. That right arm is working, left arm all working here. We have 5 more. 3, 2. All right, on this last one we hold. Again, if you don't have your leg up, just hold your arm out. Dip the toes, lift, dip, lift. Think lengthen through the crown of your head. Reach to your toes. Hips stay parallel to the floor. Left arm stays long. 3, 2, 1. Control in. Whew, okay, we're gonna keep the circle, step off to the sides. We're staying on a blue spring. Our foot bars are going to go all the way down. Okay, when we get our foot bars down, we're gonna lie on our right side onto the carriage, grab the circle, and then your right forearm, you guys, is gonna go right into your headrest, right behind your shoulder blocks. And then the circle goes right in between both ankles. Legs are gonna be nice and long. They can either be in line with your body or angled slightly forward, whatever feels best for you. And then we're gonna grab the strap that's right out in front of us into our left hand. Now, up to you. Long loop lighter for your arm, short loop heavier. I'm gonna start long, see how we feel. And if I want it heavier, I'll go a little heavier. The left arm is gonna reach right over your shoulder, and then just make sure when we're here, the right shoulder isn't up into our ear. We're pushing into our forearm and lifting. We're gonna lift our legs slightly up, pull our arm down to our hip, and then return. Now, every time we pull the arm down, we're squeezing the circle in between our ankles. Exhale, pull, squeeze. Inhale, release. Pull, squeeze, release. We have 4. Keep those legs slightly lifted. 3, right shoulder out of the ear. 2, and then last one. Now we hold here, we reach forward, and then we exhale, press back. Forward, press back. Squeeze that circle every time you guys press. We have 4 more. Try to keep that right shoulder down. 3, hips stay stacked, shoulders stay stacked. 2, and then last one. Oh, okay, relax. We're gonna hang that strap up. We're gonna keep our right forearm down, and then we're gonna add in a little lift and lower the legs. My pelvis is gonna rotate towards the ceiling when I lift, so just make sure you guys have a little space behind you so you don't fall off your reformers. Left arm is gonna be straight up to the ceiling. We're gonna exhale, lift the legs, rotate the hips to the ceiling, try to touch your left toes, and then inhale, return back. Hips should be facing the same direction that we started. Lift the legs, rotate the hips, inhale down. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Exhale, up, inhale, down. We're gonna do 3. We wanna feel those left obliques. 2, and 1. All right, then once we come back down, we're gonna pause. Lie onto your backs. Try to keep the circle in between your ankles. And then once we get down onto our backs, we're gonna grab our shoulder blocks into our hands, knees up into a tabletop position, low back's gonna be flat. Legs go straight up to the ceiling, corkscrews. We're gonna sway our legs to the right. We're gonna go down around towards our foot bar, sway to the left, come back up in center, pause, reverse left, down and around to the right, back up in center. Now, I'm letting my low back, letting my pelvis move. My shoulders are staying anchored down. We're just gonna do one more right, one more left. And then when we come back up, pause. We can set our feet down. We're gonna flip to the other side. If you guys need to take the circle out while you flip, you can. I'm gonna try to keep it in there. Look like a seal on the beach. Okay, circle right in between your ankles. And then again, legs, you guys can either be in line with your body or angled slightly forward. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. I'm grabbing the strap out in front of me. The long loop I used on the last side, so I'm gonna use it on this side. Right arm is up over our shoulder, left shoulder out of the ear. Every time we pull our right hand down towards our side, we squeeze the circle. We release when we come up. Pull, squeeze, release when we come up. Hips stacked, shoulders stacked. Exhale down, inhale up for 4. We should feel our obliques, adductors, lats, shoulders all over here. Okay, now the next time we press down, we hold, we reach forward, we press back, we squeeze. Straight forward, press back, squeeze. Straight forward with that right arm, press back, squeeze. That circle every time. My whole body, you guys, is shaking. 3, try to keep those hips stacked, try to keep those legs up. 2, and 1. Whew, okay. Hang that strap up. Readjust if you need to. We're gonna reach our right arm up to the ceiling. Again, make sure you guys have a little space behind you so you don't fall off of your reformers. We're gonna lift the legs, rotate the hips, try to touch those toes. Inhale back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Getting right into those right obliques. Exhale up. Inhale down for 4, 3, 2, and then last one. My carriage is banging around a little bit too because we're in a light spring. Okay, bend your knees. Take that circle out. We're gonna sit off to the sides. Okay, we're gonna do a little arm work with our circle, staying on this blue spring. We're kneeling on our reformers, facing our foot bar. Feet can be up against the shoulder blocks, and then we're gonna grab the right strap into our hand. Same thing as before, you guys, long loop lighter, short loop heavier. I'm gonna start with my long, see how I feel. So from here, we're gonna carefully lift up onto our knees. We're gonna take the circle into both hands. Elbows are gonna be open out nice and wide. Circle's gonna be right into our chest. Hips, shoulders, parallel to the wall in front of us. We're gonna exhale, reach our arms out. Inhale, bend wide to come back in. Exhale away. Inhale back, making sure when we reach forward, we don't have any protraction of those shoulders where we kind of hunch forward. Shoulders are down, collarbones are wide. We have 3 more. 2, and then last one. Exhale out, inhale back. Now we're gonna add in a little rotation and a dip of the arms. So we're gonna reach the arms back out, pause. We're gonna take the circle to the right hip. So we lower it to the right hip, we rotate our spine, and then we exhale to come back up. We bend our elbows to come back in. So that's one. We reach out. Arms stay long. We take it to the right hip. We lift back up and center. We bring it back to the chest. Exhale out. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale, bend. We reach out, we rotate from the spine, we use our obliques to bring us back, we bend back in for 2, in, and then last one, out, rotate, up, and in. All right, sit back, hang that strap up onto the peg, and then same thing on the left side. Again, I use the long loop, you guys, for the other side. It's lighter. I'm gonna stay there. As you can tell, I'm a little sick, so I'm going a little lighter for myself today. We're gonna kneel very carefully, nice and tall. Strap should be in your left hand, elbows wide, circles right into our chest. We exhale to reach straight out. We bend wide to come back in. Abs, you guys, into your backs. You're stabilizing from your legs, your glutes, and your core. Shoulders stay back into their back pockets. So again, no protraction where we hunch forward. Collarbones stay nice and wide. 3 more here. Exhale out. Bend wide for 2. Last one. All right, now we add in the dip rotation. So we exhale to reach out. Arms stay long. Circle goes down to your left hip. We bring it back up and center. We bend wide to come back in. We exhale to reach. We take it to the left hip with the arms long. We come center, in. As always, you guys are rotating from your spine. Your hips should be staying parallel to the wall in front of you so that we feel the movement in the spine, and then that pull back into our obliques. So those obliques are working to rotate our spine back. Wide, press, rotate. Exhale back up. We have 2 more. Again, arms long, circle to hip. Exhale up, bend wide, last one. Exhale out, inhale hip, exhale center, inhale back. Okay, once we come back in, we can go ahead, sit back, hang that strap back up onto the peg, and then we're gonna sit off to the sides. You guys can just set your circles to the side. When we sit off to the sides, we're gonna go footwork spring. So 2 feet and straps, not footwork, 2 reds. And then if you guys do want it a little heavier, you can always add on a yellow, or I would go yellow spring. Or if you want it even heavier for your legs, you can always add on a blue, which is a heavy. So I just have 2 heavy springs on. Feel free to go heavier, lighter. We're gonna lie down. We're gonna do some work still with our circle. So reach behind us, grab your long loops, They're gonna go right onto our feet. And then once we get the straps onto our feet, we're gonna take the circle into our hands. We're gonna keep it in the hands to start. Legs are gonna go up just as high as we can hold our neutral spines. And then we're gonna start into our Pilates stance. So heels are together, toes are turned apart. Circle's gonna be right over our chest, elbows open out nice and wide. We're gonna lower the legs down to a little lower than a 45-degree angle. Then from here, we're gonna inhale, open the legs out to the sides. When we bring our heels together, we squeeze the circle. We inhale to open, release. We exhale to bring them together and squeeze. Inhale, open. Exhale together and squeeze. I wanna think I'm staying in the same plane as I open and close my legs, getting right into those adductors. Inhale, open. Exhale, close, squeeze that circle. We're gonna go for 4. I think we're drawing our abs in. 3, 2, and then last one. Okay, now when we come back together, release and squeeze the circle. Internally rotate your legs. So toes together, heels are turned apart. Same thing, we're gonna inhale, open. When we bring the toes back together, we squeeze the circle. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring the toes together and squeeze. Again, trying to get right into those adductors. Neutral spine the entire time. Legs are staying in the same plane as we open and close. And they're also staying in that medial rotation. So the toes are always pointed towards each other. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now reach your legs back up to the ceiling. Circle is gonna go right in between your ankles. And then legs are gonna go up with a flat back, so no neutral spine. Headrest, you guys are gonna be all the way down for these, and we're gonna try to do a little long spine. So legs, again, are straight up to the ceiling. My tailbone is lifting up off the carriage, and so is my sacrum. Easiest way to start. So if you guys wanna start with a little lift of your pelvis, I would suggest having your tailbone, your sacrum up. The idea is that the carriage does not move when we do this. We're gonna squeeze our glutes, our hamstrings. You don't have to squeeze the circle quite yet. And you're gonna roll your spine up off the carriage, trying not to get it to move. And then keep the weight in your feet and roll your spines back down. So again, the idea is that the carriage doesn't move. You squeeze your glutes and your hamstrings. You don't have to squeeze the circle quite yet. Roll your spine up, lower your spine down. Now, if you guys can't get all the way up, just do a tiny little lift of your pelvis with control and a tiny lower of your pelvis with control. We're gonna go for 2 more. Exhale up. Inhale down on the last one. We're gonna try to hold ourselves up there. Again, if you guys can't do a big lift, little lift, try to hold little pulses of that circle. 10, 9, keep the carriage still. 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower down. Okay, take those circles out, set them to the sides. Legs are gonna go up just as high as we can hold our neutral spine now. If you want your headrest back up, you can put it back up. We're gonna finish off with some leg circles. So we're gonna lower the legs down, open them wide out to the side, circle around and back up. We exhale to lower. We inhale to circle around and back up. Exhale down, inhale to circle around back up. As always, neutral spine the entire time. That movement comes right from the head of the femur in that hip socket. For 2, nice big circles to open up those hips. Last one. When we come up, pause, reverse. Again, nice big circles, opening up our hips. Sacrum heavy, pelvis stays anchored down into that carriage. We should feel our inner thighs working to bring the legs together. We're just gonna do 2 more. And then last one. All right, when we come up, pause. Low backs can be flat. We can tug on our ropes, give our low backs, our hamstrings a little stretch. And then we're gonna do a little hip flexor stretch, staying down onto our reformers. We're gonna start very carefully, guys, with your right leg. So I'm gonna bend my right knee. If you wanna watch this, your right foot should go to the outside frame of the carriage down to the floor. The strap is on the front of my foot now, so it should adjust itself. And then I'm gonna let my left leg just open out to the side to give my adductors a big stretch. So front of the right leg, inside of the left. Hold and stretch. If you want a deeper stretch, take the rope with your right hand and pull. As always, we want to breathe in through the nose, out through our mouth. All right, then I'm gonna bring my left leg back, my right leg back up, bend the left leg. Again, the foot goes down to the floor to the outside frame of the carriage. The strap should adjust itself, and then let your right leg open out to the side. And if you want a deeper stretch with that left side, grab the strap, pull, stretch. Feel free to hold on to the carriage to stretch your arms as well. In through the nose with your breath, out through the mouth. All right, bring your right leg back up, left leg back up. Let's bend the knees, bring the bottoms of the feet together. Give yourselves one quick stretch here, one little butterfly stretch. Pull the straps, push the knees out, whatever feels good. All right, then we'll take the straps off of our feet, hang them back up onto the pegs. You guys can sit yourselves off to the sides. All right, when you guys sit up, you are all finished. I hope you enjoyed that Magic Circle class. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave me those super things. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I'm so excited for 2024. I have some really fun, exciting new things coming.